Good morning. I guess I should say good afternoon. At least we've got some sunshine, and I got Joe Worrell from the Magee City of Magee to come. He's the emergency management head guy, because I don't know about you, but my house shook and my plants flipped and my limbs fell in my yard. But I was one of the lucky ones that remained with electricity, but I don't think most of Magee did. So I was going to see if Joe wouldn't give us a little kind of an overture of what happened last night.
Well, yesterday, a storm front developed out of the northwest coming out of Arkansas, and as the heat progressed during the day, the storm began to grow and get bigger. Last night, warnings started coming out from the time it hit Memphis and northeast Mississippi, or northwest Mississippi, and then as it kept coming south, kept expanding, getting bigger, and actually engulfed from state line to state line. And at about 8 o'clock last night, they put out a severe thunderstorm watch for Simpson County. And then I called to the National Weather Service to find out just what was included in this storm, and they said there's a chance of quarter-size hail and winds of excess of 60 miles an hour already being reported. So he said they were fixing to issue a severe thunderstorm warning. There was no tornadic activity last night anywhere. So
that's what was strange to me, because I mean, we had some big wind, but you could tell it wasn't like a tornado.
Right. Everything we had was straight line winds, and last night we had winds probably in excess of 50 miles an hour.
I wondered.
And we had 2 trees go down that were reported that we went to. One of them was just outside the city limits on 28, going to Mize, and the other one was on 149, just past Warren Supply, and it hit one of the main lines coming in to the city from the substation. And
so
that's why most of the city lost power last night.
Like I said, I was very fortunate, but I knew it was above Napa, and then I drove up there earlier this morning, and the energy trucks and all were up there still working. So and those crews, to the city crew, everybody was working all night. It sounded like on the scanner. I'm just saying.
Well, after we got the tree cleared out, the city crew, we didn't even call them out last night because everything was on state property, on state highways now.
Good.
Well, yeah, even though they were so busy in the county, Nelvis Rankin, the city superintendent, came in and he took the backhoe out on 28 East and pushed the tree out of the road to open that highway back up. And then last night, finally, MDOT got there to switch everything around to get the grid back up, except for that one section. And once they did that, then they cut the tree up, and MDOT was on the scene by then.
Does most everyone have electricity in Magee now?
Oh, yes. I think just about everybody's back online. Everybody's back up now.
Well, I know this morning about, I guess it was 11, I'm not really sure what time, I went up to the cleaners, and they were shut down because they said no power. So I didn't know if everybody was up yet or running. I thought maybe they were.
It was just that one grid right there from probably Rankin's Body Shop down to 11th Avenue.
I'm telling you, I looked up. It's right in my front yard practically, but it didn't come. Our lights did flicker. When you hear that type of wind, is there anything, what are some things that maybe we should do in preparation? I didn't even know we were having a storm, and the only thing I had was my trash can blew, and it blew it and blew the trash, but I was in bags, so it didn't matter. But what is something we should do if we know we're having strong wind like that?
Well, always monitor the National Weather Service. They put out a graphic cast every day, and they update it, and they'll let you know what's going on as far as whether we have something coming in that's going to have high winds with it. And when you read that, just go out, and if you see things that are not heavy enough to support the wind, then just go ahead and get it and put it in a secure area. A couple weeks ago when we had that straight line wind come in, I wasn't working. I was on vacation, and when I got home, I had debris and stuff all over. Of course, I had limbs everywhere, but even heavy stuff that I had at the house then was knocked over.
Well, I know Joe that no, it's not Joe, that works with the city that does our truck. I always talk to him, but his daddy was Joe, so I still call him Joe. But anyway, he was talking about how much all the debris to get up, and I know that during that time we had a tree. I had a tree behind me that hit, and it broke my fence. So that was really some heavy wind too.
Right, yeah.
But we did at least get that rain that we've been needing, so we couldn't fuss too much.
Yeah, it was so strong that it was 60 plus that day, and I have a porch swing, a heavy wooden swing out in the yard, and it was straight out.
And that's something.
Luckily it was chained to some pipe and everything, but that was some strong wind that day.
Well, I really think what Joe's telling us is to listen, watch, be aware of your surroundings, and be aware of what's happening on your cell phones now. You can set where it'll give you an alert, an update on the weather. If it is tornadic, they're going to let us know through the city with our sirens. And when they didn't go off last night, I knew there wasn't a tornado because they never went off. I kept thinking they might, but they wouldn't.
Yeah. And there are several ways you can get information. All your TV networks, Channel 12, 3, Fox 40, and all those, they provide emergency alerts. So,
of course, when you have what I have, it goes out. If it goes poof, it goes out. But not my radios. So I didn't have that.
With your phone, and everything comes in on your phone.
That's right.
So, and they're working on getting it where it's a statewide issue now, where everybody will get an alert through text messages.
That'll be great.
So that's coming soon.
Okay. Well, we hope you'll have a good week, and maybe we'll get some more rain, but not the winds. Thank you. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate you.